A Vancouver apartment complex are at their wits' end after a little boy was stuck by a hypodermic needle.
All right, and they say that they find needles all over the complex and management isn't doing anything about it. The needles are turning up at the Orchard Glen Apartments, which is on Northeast 102nd Avenue in Vancouver. Ken Body went there to ask managers the tough questions. So, Ken, what'd you learn?
Well, those are the apartments behind me. The apartments right here in Vancouver, in Northeast Vancouver, and the people who live there tell me that they are shocked at the number of needles that they're finding.
I think it's disgusting, and I think it's horrible.
Valerie told me her 9-year-old nephew, whose identity we're protecting, was stuck by a hypodermic needle at the Orchard Glen Apartments just last week.
He was playing outside with his friend over by their house, and his ball was in a bush, and he reached in to get it, and he got poked, and it went right into his thumb, up close to the palm of his hand.
Doctors told her there was heroin in that needle, and he'll have to be monitored for hepatitis or HIV exposure for the next year.
He was playing over in here, and he was down like over here by the slide, and all of a sudden we heard all this screaming.
Kathy McHouston showed me where another child found a needle in the playground area, and she told me she's found several needles recently all over the complex.
It's just getting ridiculous that the kids cannot even be safe in the playgrounds or anything here.
Clark County Sheriff's deputies tell me there is a heroin problem in this area and in the park across the street. But I learned that residents in this low-rent complex are disappointed with how management is responding.
Well, I think it should be cleaned up for sure. I mean, you know, that shouldn't be an issue when you live in apartments.
So I went to the manager on site.
Well, I want to talk to you about the hypodermic needles.
I'm not going to talk to you. You're on private property. You need to leave.
I found out the management company is Quantum Properties of Vancouver. So I called them numerous times.
Please give me a call back.
My calls went to voicemail and were never returned. Meanwhile, a little boy and his family will spend months worrying, while residents live in fear that it will happen again.
Just makes me cringe.
Well, I called the Clark County Sheriff's Office to ask them what you should do if you find hypodermic needles in your neighborhood. They told me that you should call 911. Don't touch those needles. They'll give you advice on how to dispose of them, and they'll come out and investigate. Live in Vancouver, Ken Body, KOIN 6 News.